What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Zachary Reality. I'm your host, Zachary Reality, and it's been a minute, but I'm so excited to get back into the podcasting game. Jackie, I took like a month off, so this is the start of a new era, and I'm so glad that it's you because I love you so much. We've become friends. We both love geeking out over reality TV, so I know we're gonna have a fun little chit chat. So welcome. How are you doing today?
I am doing good, and I just feel so honored to be leading in this new era of you back to podcasting, because everyone should be podcasting all the time. It's the best thing to do.
Yes, it's a new era. It's like a summer solstice era. Today is the first day of summer, the first day of Cancer season, and it's my birthday week.
Wait, yes. What are you doing? Wait, exciting.
I know. Sorry, I have to talk about me for a sec. But like, I'm having a party tonight at like a bar. Like I reserved a section with like all my friends. Tomorrow I'm going to Anaheim because it's VidCon. So there's like a TikTok party and like all the content creators just kind of get together for it. And then I'm going to Vegas for the rest of the weekend on Friday. So
fun. Okay, so you literally have a whole birthday week planned out, ready to go.
Yeah. And honestly, I've been celebrating all month because it's also Pride Month. So I've been a little unhinged lately. So I'm just like really setting up for July where I plan to be like on my shit.
Right. July is for relaxing summertime. June is for going crazy summertime. There's a lot going on.
Exactly. Well, you're in New York. I'm in LA. So how has the city been treating you this summer, especially with the Canadian fires? What was that like?
That was crazy. Well, so I used to live out in LA, so I was familiar with fire culture, if you will, but it felt as if like back when I was living in Santa Monica and there were those crazy fires in Malibu, obviously there was like sky is red, crazy smoke, it smells like a campfire. That was the exact same experience in New York and New Jersey, but the thing that was so jarring is that these fires were all the way in Canada, not just Santa Monica to Malibu. So that was the scary part, is like these are so far away and still having as much of an impact. But since then, they seem to have died down. I feel ignorant. I'm like, I don't actually know what's going on with the fires in Canada,
yeah, but it was yellow.
In New York, we're not smelling fire anymore. Yeah, no, now we have blue skies again. So thank God.
No, it was literally yellow, and I was so shook. And I don't know if you saw this TikTok I made, but like McKenna commented under like a post about someone from Canada who like held up a sign that said like Canada WTF, because like it was kind of getting really rowdy on social media too, and a lot of people were like mad about it, and like it became Canada versus USA.
Oh my God, I didn't know there was a war between countries going on because of these fires.
No, there was. So I'm just making sure you're alive, okay?
Yes, no, we're good. We're breathing fresh oxygen right now, or at least as fresh as it can be in New York. But otherwise, summer, I love summer in New York. I feel like everyone becomes a new person and is ready to be out and about and on rooftops, and everyone's saying yes to doing activities when that's obviously not the case, especially January through April. So I have been having so much fun. We're only a few weeks into summer and it has been Pride Month. So there's a lot of fun things going on around the city. It's just a good time.
Yes. And you're like the ultimate ally. And we went out when I was in New York last month and we had so much fun, got pretty drunk. And I feel like we've seen each other, you know, out and about for a while. So I'm like, so glad you're finally here to like gossip with Bachelor with me, like on camera, because like we gossip off camera and it's juicy. So I don't know what you're gonna bring today, what opinions, what hot takes, what tea, but I'm ready for it.
Okay. Oh my God, I hope I can deliver on the hot takes and the tea, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, well, for people who might not know, you are one of the co-hosts of the She's All Bach podcast. It's a Bachelor themed podcast. You recap episodes, you go through social media, you interview so many fun people. Who have you had on this year that you've like geeked out over?
Yeah, we've had a lot of good interviews. We have a couple fun ones coming up this week that I'm excited about, and one that we have not released yet, but I think I've already kind of teased it a little bit on our podcast, so I feel like it's safe to talk about it here too. We had Sierra on from Paradise this past season, and if you guys don't remember, she had all of the drama between Michael A and then Danielle came on, and obviously Michael ended up with Danielle, and Sierra really felt like the scorned woman in the situation, and she left no stone unturned. She came with receipts. She had the tea and just really went into, you know, the kind of conversations that she was having with Michael before going on to the beach, what the expectations were. Yeah, she was absolutely unhinged in the best way. And I loved all of the stuff that she had to say about the behind the scenes aspect of that dynamic, because
Yeah.
we know they play favorites on that show. And Michael A was definitely immune to some shakeups that they had going on in Paradise.
Some favoritism. And now that the shows are about to start, like I'm excited to just kind of see where the audience is. Like I almost feel like I've taken a break from my audience in regards to like The Bachelor, because it has been off for a few months. So have you been covering it like every single week? Like what has your podcast been like?
Yeah, well, so our podcast, we're really lucky that like we continue our podcast whether the show is on or not. Because like you said, we cover Bachelor news, we cover we have a fun segment called Bachelor Encounters where people will like see people from the show in the wild. It's like the demois of Bachelor Nation, if you will. We read them and we make commentary about that. And then we do interviews, and we try to get interviews with people that are out of contract, ready to be really unfiltered and honest, because that's kind of our brand. And so we're always trying to ask what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, did a producer ask you to do that? What is going on? So that's kind of the basis of our podcast. And then we do recaps on Tuesday mornings of the show that aired on Monday. So we've been covering it a little bit. I feel like leading up to this season, Bachelor news, like you said, has been pretty slow. But I think we're turning a new leaf in Bachelor, for better or for worse. I'm not sure, but it does feel like something is changing, just with the fact that like, it's moving to a new time slot. I think Zach was a lead that we had all kind of seen before. Charity is a little bit more fresh. So I'm excited, but I don't know what direction we're going to go in, especially with the Golden Bachelor, which was announced that's coming in the fall. So like they're at least trying to do new things, and I appreciate the effort because it gets a little repetitive and a little stale.
Yeah, it does for sure. But like we love it. Like we've been watching it forever. So we have Charity season, we have Paradise, and we have Golden Bachelor. So I think that Paradise is obviously going to be the best and the most watched. But first up, we do have Charity season, which is next week. What do you think about it? Like, are you excited, and what do you think's to come?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think in Zach's season, I don't think we got to see too much of Charity, especially because I think her and Zach never really had much of a romantic vibe. They seem to be more friends and friendly. So, and I feel like we saw a lot more of Charity's personality when they announced her to be the Bachelorette. I think it was at the Women Tell All. So I'm excited to see more of that, because she really is such a fun, bubbly person. And I feel like a lot of that was toned down in Zach's season, but when they announced her, I feel like she just brought such a huge wave of personality. So I'm excited to see what she's going to bring. I think she's a great choice. She's obviously beautiful, very classy, very strong personality. And I think that's always someone who's good as a female lead in this show. So I'm excited. And I hope that they are, trying to switch things up with like the formulas of group dates. I'm trying to remain spoiler free. I don't know exactly what we are in store for, but I'm hoping that it's something a little bit more fresh.
Yeah, the thing is, it hasn't been teased much, right? Like there's no storylines, there's nothing that's really been leaked. Maybe partially that's my fault, but like there's just not so much buzz going on for Charity season. So I kind of feel like we don't know what to expect. I do know they didn't leave the country until like final 3, and they went to Fiji.
That's unusual.
I was keeping up a little bit when they were filming in America. They got spotted in San Diego. Like JoJo and Jordan hosted a date. I know she went to like Louisiana. Like she's been around a little bit. So we really just don't know what too much to expect, which leads me to believe it could be a little bit more of like a boringer season, especially because there's a lot of, sometimes we like the girls, right? So I'm a little skeptical, but like obviously we're going to be watching. Do you have like any guys' names that you like are excited about, or how do you think it's going to end? Do you think she's engaged?
Well, so I think she's probably engaged, just because she strikes me as someone who's like taking this very seriously and is ready for that next step. This might be like a controversial opinion, not really, but I don't like to research the guys before night one. Like I know that, they release all of everyone's photos and everyone's social media and like the little blurbs about all of the contestants. And then people usually do deep dives and try to make predictions about, who's going to be top 4 just based off of one ugly posed picture on ABC's website. So I'm of the mindset that we need to wait at least for night 1 to see these guys and see how they interact with Charity before really making any predictions. So I don't like to predict things prior to the first episode. I did hear one thing that was weird. I think maybe it was Reality Steve who said this, that they were a few weeks into the season and they had less guys than they had ever had at that point in the season. So Reality Steve's perspective was like, wait, what's going on? Like, was there a situation where she sent home like a handful of guys all in one night? That's unprecedented. Normally at this stage, like they would have 12 people left or whatever the number was. And Reality Steve was saying it's significantly less. So I wonder if she's maybe just like taking a firmer stance and taking no bullshit. And it's just like, it's not you, it's not you, it's not you. And really taking it seriously. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, it could be a shorter season. How many episodes are there really? Like 10, 12?
Usually, yeah, I think it's like something like 12, 13-ish. It's different every season. And then they never tell us when the finale is going to be till it gets closer, which as people who cover the show as their job, it's very frustrating.
Oh my God.
We need to plan our summers. I'm like, I need to know when I need to be available for like 3 days straight to cover the finale.
That's fair. They could be more considerate. I remember when it was Thanksgiving and like Bachelor in Paradise was on like Monday and Tuesdays. And I was like, why does it need to be on 2 nights a week? Like, especially, it was like, it fucked up my travel.
For 2 hours too. Yeah, like that's a lot of time. I can't even watch a movie for 2 hours, but yet somehow every single week and during Paradise twice a week, I'm watching 2 hours of The Bachelor. I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, you know, it comes on at 9 this year. Are you going to stay up and watch it or watch in the morning?
No, we're going to stay up because we're going to watch, it'll probably still be 2 hours, right? So it'll be 9 to 11. Then we'll record so basically what we do is we record our recaps right after we watch. So it's like fresh in our mind. We send it to an editor to edit it overnight. And then we wake up early in the morning, brush through it and publish so that we can get it up before people's East Coast commutes. We really try over here to make it the most efficient way that you would want to listen to your Bachelor recaps. But yeah, so we will be having some late nights on Mondays.
For sure. Well, that's what I do with my TikToks. Like I'll film it right after the episode. So it's fresh in my brain, or even at commercial breaks, just try and get it in. Even if I like save drafts, it's like I can post it the next day, but like your thoughts. So for me though, this is my first year not working at Shared News, you know, which was my old hosting job I was at for 2 years. So we used to get the episodes on East Coast hours. So I would watch it at 5 o'clock. But now, since I just left that job and I'm doing things separately, I won't even be able to watch till 9 unless I figure out another streaming way. So I think I'm just going to post my recaps in the morning on TikTok.
Which you totally could do. You know, you should actually look into getting a VPN so that you could at least watch on East Coast time in LA. And then you at least have a few hours. You could watch it at 6. So you're not having such a late night. I've like thought about that too. I was like, if I changed coasts yet again, this would be way more beneficial timing wise because East Coast, it's late for us.
Yeah, I honestly think I'll probably just post stuff in the morning because I think that, I don't know, we'll have to see where everyone's at. Like, I just feel like maybe the audience has gone away a little bit, or maybe it's just because it's been the off season, but I feel a little disconnected to Bachelor Nation right now. How do you feel?
I feel that way too. And I think I can't tell if part of this is just kind of how the flow normally goes. Like we're in the off season, it's bound to be slow. And so I'm hoping that people will just kind of come out of the woodwork once the season starts and get back into it. But, you know, I think it really just depends on the season. And I think people resonate with certain seasons more than others. So I'm obviously optimistic that people will poke their heads back out and take a look at Bachelor stuff. But there's also just so much great reality TV out there that, you know, it's hard to pull audiences. And that's just, you know, the world that we're living in right now with streaming and all of these different great shows. So, which is good for us. You know, it gives us variety of stuff to cover. You know, we don't have to just only talk about Bachelor, but I do still think there's a huge section of the country that is Bachelor focus. I don't think those people, it's like an American pastime. It's like, it's our culture, you know, it's Bachelor.
It's Bachelor.
Football and Bachelor, same thing.
Yeah. And we've been really busy the past few months with all the other amazing reality shows like Vanderpump Rules and Jersey Housewives. I like Summer House, Love is Blind. So we've been fed. Let's talk about Paradise for a second. So I don't know if you're keeping up with like anything, but they're filming right now. I think they're going to be ending soon. Do you have any predictions or anyone that you want to see there that you think went?
Am I allowed to spoil anything? I don't know too many spoilers. I just know
say
a
anything
couple
you
little
want.
things of people who are on. I know Blake Moynes is going to be there, and we covered this a little bit on the podcast. I am so excited to see him just because I feel like we have seen him a handful of times now. He was on Claire and Tayshia season, on Katie season, obviously. So we're very invested in this guy's journey. We also had him on the show for an interview. He was such a sweet, great guy. So I'm really excited to see him on the beach. I think he's probably my number one right now that I'm most excited for.
I'm excited to see him too. I think it's going to be great. Anyone that's like older school is like someone I want to see there. I don't want it to just be Zach's girls and just, you know,
Totally.
the
Yeah,
recent
no, I
guys.
agree. I hate that when it's always just like, and this is someone who went home night two. Not that there's anything wrong with going home
Yeah.
night two, but I want to be invested in these storylines. And you would think, you know, they have so many years of people from Bachelor to pick from that they should, every single person on Paradise, I think should be someone we've seen a couple times and are really invested in. I think that's really what makes the best television.
Yeah, because you get invested in the people too and their stories from season to
Yeah.
season. And I think The Bachelor has been doing a really bad job of like picking people who we're not invested in, like Zach, Clayton, Charity. Like the past few years, it just hasn't been as like big people. So if we can get like some of
Yeah.
like our all-stars, like we obviously love everyone,
Yes.
but like we want some all-stars. So I think Blake being there is good. I don't know if Rachel Recchia went, but obviously I think everyone wants to see her there.
There were rumors that Rachel and Gabby would go. So, and I like this precedent now that leads are not too good for the beach anymore
Yeah.
ever since Becca Kufrin went, which I love because obviously like they're the people we've seen and been with for an entire season of their own. So we're obviously super invested in their story. But yeah, Bachelor's always at a disadvantage with that in that they have new characters every single season. So you don't have the same following and like feelings as you would towards someone's calling me. Ignore them.
Yeah.
The same feelings that you would have towards like Vanderpump Rules. Like these are people you have been following for 10 years and that's why the show is so big. And I think if Bachelor pulled historically from the same people over and over so that we have a cast to kind of keep following their journey, I think the show would be so much stronger.
For sure. Well, I know like 6 or 7 or 8 girls went from Zach's season. So there's a little bit of that. I do believe Avon went. I believe Tyler Norris went back too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like a cutie, sweetie guy, right? Am I remembering right? He was with Rachel Recchia.
And then Brittany.
Yes. Okay, yeah, he's a cutie sweetie.
I think there's going to be like 5 or 6 guys from Charity season. So I hope there's just like a few people that surprise us. Like when Lace showed up last year, that came out of nowhere. Obviously, it was leaked online, but now I'm getting a call and I'm on Do Not Disturb.
Oh my God. Everyone, stop calling us. We're busy. I know I need to put mine on Do Not Disturb.
Right? I thought it was. So I don't know, maybe somebody will surprise us, but either way, I think Paradise is going to be a hit.
I hope so. Because I think last season dragged on a little too long. There were a lot, like, remember when they announced that they were extending it for like 6 more episodes, but then they spent like 3 episodes on Ashley and Jared. Will they, won't they?
Oh my God. And I love
sex,
them, but yeah.
Which is once again, nothing against Ashley and Jared. It's just that, you know, we're here for these new storylines and to go back to, focusing on something that just felt really overproduced. Like I would love to hear from Ashley and Jared in a more authentic way, but this storyline was so produced. They were like making all these like Ashley fart jokes. I'm like, I don't need 2 hours of watching Ashley Iconetti fart when like we're already pressed for time, people. Like this is a long episode. Fill it with, you know, some fresh stuff.
Yeah. Well, they need to either do just like a show that's separate, follow the couples in real life. Like I think that would probably do well, like a Housewives type of show. And then they need to just they could do less episodes. But let's talk about Golden Bachelor because that's supposed to air in the fall too. Apparently that's going to be on Mondays and then Paradise is going to be on Tuesdays. So that seems like a lot. I heard that the guy, this is not confirmed, but this is literally what I heard from someone, that he's 72.
Okay. That doesn't surprise me. Like these people are old. Like I think I was talking to someone about this and they're like, well, maybe it's won't be like so old. It'll be like housewives aged people, like, you know, 50s, 40s, some in their 60s, but whatever. But no, the casting call said, because I wanted to submit my mom for it, but she was even too young. It was saying 65 or above. Yeah, my mom's maybe like 60. I have really mixed feelings about it. I just think it's like really sad to see old people be sad or be vulnerable or be really hopeful about love in their future. And if the producers are going to treat them the way they treat the younger people that they normally have on the cast, I just don't know if I feel good about it. Unfortunately, I think I have to still watch, but I feel mixed about it. How do you feel?
I'm probably more excited about it because I think it is just like a different concept. So it's kind of like I'm not as hopeful for Charities as you are, we're vice versa. right?
Okay.
I think that it's going to
Yeah.
be good. I think that there will be like, it'll just be like a really fresh perspective. I mean, I think we have to kind of see it when it's like put together.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, at least I think these people who are older, they're not going on the show looking for TikTok fame and followers and stuff. So in that sense, I think maybe we'll actually get more of an authentic people who really are just trying to like put themselves out there and try something new, because this is a totally new concept that hasn't really been done on TV before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like I don't want to see, like, okay, picture this. It's the
Yeah.
final rose ceremony. There's a 75-year-old lady like walking down
Oh
to the
no.
final rose to think she's
Yeah.
getting proposed to, and then she's like dumped. I can't watch that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes people who are old and older like really embrace it and like become so humorous. So there could be some just like hidden gems. It might like also be good for the audience that has just like watched young people for so long and they grew up with The Bachelor and now they're
Yeah,
older, so they might be able to relate. Either way, it's a mix, and it's like I don't really think it's like a make or break whether we have to like cover it, because Bachelor in Paradise will be on as well.
totally. Yeah, I think we're also kind of mixed on whether we're going to cover it as well. And I guess like time will tell. We'll watch the first episode or so, and see how it goes, see how the audience is reacting, and then decide if that's something we want to stay up late doing Monday nights. Because is it also going to air at 9? Like the
I
new
don't know.
Bachelor, or is it going to be at 8? We don't know yet.
We'll
Okay.
find out when it gets closer. But I was telling one of my friends about Golden Bachelor, who like doesn't care about The Bachelor, and her first thought was like, oh, they're gonna get like a 35-year-old, a 25-year-old, like get a sugar daddy situation. And I was like, that would be a really good storyline.
It could be interesting. And then we could add the element. What was that show where, is it Joe Millionaire or something,
Yes.
where like one guy's poor, one guy's really rich, but then they're dating both of them and they have to like decide who to be with? Or was it a guy's a millionaire, but he's faking it, and then they see if they'll stay with him even if they realize he doesn't have money. Regardless, I feel like there have been shows that have kind of played with that concept. And I do think it would be interesting. Add an age to the equation as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do we have to think of everything for ABC to do?
Literally. Yeah, that would be insane. There was one show where like this was so weird. I think it was on like some TLC where like the moms were dating like their son's friends. Their sons were like 25. Did you hear about this show? Like MILF
Wait,
Manor?
yes.
MILF Manor. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
I
God.
couldn't watch that. That's a little weird.
That's like that 30 Rock show, MILF Island, except it's a real show.
Literally.
Crazy.
Well, we do have an exciting or interesting upcoming Bachelor season, so we definitely have to stay in touch and text and you know talk throughout the season.
Yeah.
What else do you have like going on besides the podcast? Like, do you have a 9 to 5?
So I do. I still work at my 9 to 5 that I had before doing the podcast. So I do work at Peacock. Little brag there. We've been taking on a lot of reality TV stuff. Yeah, I feel like a lot of reality TV fans recently have come around to Peacock. So I do still work there. I also do some performing and some singing in New York as well. I'm singing in a show in August at Don't Tell Mama, a cabaret venue in the theater district. So I bop around and do a bunch of little things. I know I feel like I don't really fit into one box as like what I do for a job. I do a handful of things. But yeah.
And when are we switching apartments? Like, is this not happening?
I know we talked about this when I saw you in New York. I would love to. I mean, in my dream, I told you this, in my dream life, I spend January through April in LA and then the rest of the time in New York. Cause I do love New York. My family's here, and summer and fall in New York are the best times, but winter. But the thing is, like, you don't want to switch with me during that time. You don't want to come to New York
I'm switching
during
in
the
September.
worst times.
September is the month I want to come.
September is the best month.
Okay, well, I'm going to find someone else. I'm going to have to find someone else to switch apartments with. So if anyone's listening, I live in West Hollywood. You want to switch with me for a month. If you live in New York City, even 3 weeks.
Don't put that out there. I'm still looking to maybe do it. We'll see.
We can do it. I'm just saying during a different time, because since I want September and you don't want to leave in September.
True. So if anyone is in LA and wants to come to New York during the worst times weather-wise of the year, January through March, I'm your girl.
Yeah, it works out for both of us. This is a public PSA.
Yes, exactly.
And then we'll
One
be
step closer
bi-coastal.
to our dream lives. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You guys can all check
Thank
out
you.
Jackie on her Instagram. I'll leave the link down below, and check out their Bachelor podcast. She's All Batch. She co-hosts it with Stephanie Parker, and they have so many amazing interviews with lots of fun tea with some of your Bachelor Nation favorites. I enjoy listening, especially when I'm in the car on a road trip. I'll put you guys on. So everybody go
Yay.
check out Jackie, and thanks so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you all so much for listening. Please be sure to leave this podcast 5 stars, rate and review. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave your comments down below. We'll see you guys later. Bye.